Good Thursday morning. We're having a roll here. I hope so. I hope these aren't too poor, too bad, honestly. I'm not on my game today. I'm trying to be, but I'm struggling a little. But this is a great gospel. I love this one of Matthew, okay? Because I'm going to make fun of myself a little. Is that okay? We cool? Jesus said to his apostles, as you go, make this proclamation. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, drive out demons. Without cost you have received, without cost you are to give. Do not take gold or silver or copper for your belts, no sack for a journey or a second tunic or sandals or a walking stick. The laborer deserves his keep. Whatever town or village you enter, look for a worthy person in it, and stay there until you leave. As you enter a house, wish it peace. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. If not, let your peace return to you. Whoever will not receive you or listen to your words, like my dog barking now, Lily, go outside that house or town and shake the dust from your feet. Amen, I say to you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. I don't know, Lily's having a fit out there. She's guarding the universe, actually guarding the house. I just heard a door. Somebody's outside. And Lily's guarding this. No, she thinks she owns the joint. Well, let me just get into the gospel a little bit. Okay, when I think about this, let me make it very personal. When I drove here in 1971, which is 52 years ago, I joke about it. It says, without cost you've received, without cost you are to give. And that is the truth. Don't take gold or silver or copper for your belt. No sack for the journey or a second tunic or sandals. I did have sandals. The old timers would know I wore sandals. That was a standout factor. When I said Mass, I said I'm in my sandals. And it was a feature. The kids all noticed it. Or don't take a walking stick. But what I did take was 2 shotguns, 3 rifles in a vacuum in my Volkswagen. Yeah, I said, does that count? So I brought my story with me, my narrative with me to St. Louis, to St. Timothy's Parish a long time ago. And I remember how I drove in. I thought, after a 16-hour drive, I came with my classmate, Jim Barry. His cousin went to SLU and he wanted to visit, so the 2 of us drove here. And I remember when I drove in, if you'd have told me I would be still here 52 years later, I'd say you're out of your mind. I didn't expect to be there 2 or 3 years. That's the truth. That's simply the truth. He said, whatever town or village you enter, look for a worthy person in it and stay there until you leave. I found 4 generations, as it were, of worthy people who found me worthy of their love. It wasn't that that I was so good that they deserved me. Hell, they did. As it were, Luke Camario said to me, I was learning. He said, you're getting there, you're learning. They accepted me with all my rough edges. They accepted me. That's the truth. We were welcomed to each other. I remember that so vividly because when I came here, all I wanted was a roof over my head and nothing else. And I wasn't here very long, and I found life in the parish, and I still do. If I preached the gospel to the parish, the parish preached the gospel to me, a gospel of friendship and love, acceptance, and wisdom. But I saw the crucified Christ in the people of the parish. I learned more than I ever taught, and it's absolutely true. I saw what Christianity was, not in an esoteric form as in a monastery, but in the life of the city, in the life of the county, in the life of the parish. I remember when I first got here, Father Cronin was the pastor, and he said to me, go outside and make friends with the people of the parish. As he said it to me, I'll quote him. He said, "There's nothing for you in the rectory." He was right. There wasn't a community. But outside, and I remember seeing the guys playing ball, the kids, they were the second graders, and there was the baseball. The coaches, the fathers were out there. So I met Dick Heinrichs out there, and I found myself becoming more and more involved very quickly and becoming friends with the families with each year more and more intensely. And they had accepted me, and and I am eccentric. I don't fit the mold. I know that. But they loved me. They accepted me. And they welcomed me into their home, into their families, into their inner souls. They allowed me to venture with them in their journeys of life. Yeah. And they let me go out hunting too. You see? My eccentricities. Not eccentricities, who I am, what I am. And they saw that I was a passionist, I was a priest, but I was them. I was one of them. And they accepted me. And they've been accepting me ever since. 4 generations. Actually, in the 5th generation. I'm thinking about that. How many guys in the racket, in the priesthood, how many ever ministered to the same community, essentially, for 5 generations, for 52 years? Even when I was in Louisville, I was back and forth, principally because of my friends here, but I still came back and I ministered. I came back and I always covered the weekends or whatever it would be in the summertime. I'd come for a week at a time. I wanted to be with my friends, you see. That's why I came. But on the other hand, my friends were the parish. Yeah, I came really with not much, a little bit. I had some education. But what I brought was, an openness to learn. I thought it would be a PhD, which I got. But if you ask me what I really learned, I learned what the church was. And the church was the people of God. The kids on the ball field. I told you this story before. I was reading in my room, okay, in the rectory, okay. I had a study. I was studying, but I looked out the window and I saw these kids playing. They were playing field hockey, whatever the word is, street hockey, actually, out on the parking lot. And I go out and watch them play once in a while. I got to know them. Then on the ball field, especially baseball, Little League baseball. And gradually, soccer, I didn't know a soccer ball from a meatball, okay? I started to watch them play soccer, and realized this place was a powerhouse for soccer. Yeah. It ended up when I was at Bellarmine College, I recruited kids from St. Tim's Parish to come to Bellarmine to play soccer. We were Division 2 or 3, I forgot where we were, but we went from nothing to somebody very fast. These kids had the talent. These kids were good. I mean, incomparable. They were better than anybody else in the country. That's the truth. St. Louis was a soccer factory. That's the truth. Came with nothing and I got everything. That's the truth. If I had to say what I gave as against what I've got, I gave little and got more than I could ever dream of. That's the truth. My debt to St. Tim's and St. Mark's is an impayable debt. And I think of that every day. Every day. Why would a guy like me get to be in a parish this many years? Everything in my training prepared me for a monastic life and a scholarly life and a teaching life, but not a parochial life. Yet every morning at 6:30, I say the 6:30 Mass here, okay? But also on the weekends, etc. I do my share, not a lot of weddings, but I do my share of weddings and an occasional funeral, especially the old timers. When it's somebody that goes back a long time, that I have a long history with, even if I'm not the principal celebrant, I could celebrate. Just did it recently. I want to be present because we have walked this thing together. Talk about grace, a calling, a grace. Came here for one reason, stayed for a much better reason. Love. Love the people, my very close friends, the Clodiuses, June and Bill and their kids, Kathy, John, and Kurt. Kathy and John, Kurt, his wife, Beth, Karen and Ted, but also so many, the Heinrichs, more and more, and people who are not close friends but acquaintances, but people who constitute the family of the parish. That's the truth. It's been a marvelous gift. And I think one of the greatest gifts God has given me in my life, it is St. Mark's, St. Tim's Parish, which I simply walked into. They accepted me, and I love them. It's been quite a journey.